people, injured here for every 3 faction war. This is Calderis Refinery and Chaos Space Marines versus Orks for the Blue Chaos team. We've got Andreas Leonhardt as a Plague Champion, starts off range combat with a damage over time bolter, can get melee weapons, some decent utility and support, can build turrets and repair, but is very slow. Black Legion. Alongside Rostam as a Chaos Lord, durable and destructive commander, walks through objects and cannot be suppressed on powerful offense and disruption, fights mainly in melee combat. This is the World Eater's elite scheme. And rounding us off here on the blue team is Shaman as a Chaos Sorcerer, offensive and disruptive commander. Lots of great manipulation and control abilities, begins in melee combat and has some powerful offense too. This is the Night Lord's elite scheme maybe. Red Orks, we've got Tonberry as a Mekboy, teleporting commander that fights range combat, puts such a good damage, but also support with structures, repair, disrupt, all that good stuff. Alongside here, oLev as a Warboss, and we have another Warboss. It's johnoanimator. These guys are melee heroes that can walk through objects, very good offense, disruption and support from the front lines. Jono over on the east side fighting a Plague Champion. Plague Champion can do very nasty things to Orks with his various war gears. And Chosen Plague Marines, of course, in tier 2. West side. Shaman here, just threw out his Doom Bolts, I think, allowing him to win that little fight, but Heretic's in trouble here, because that's a lot of Dakar. Tonberry with double shooters up. Is he going to stay in play here? I guess he could try and force melee combat and tie the other up with the Sorcerer. Meanwhile, mid, hell of a lot of Dakar on the Chaos Lord now. Happy to fight the Warboss. There's the kill the weak, but only hits one model, so doesn't heal him for that much, and he's forced off the field here. Get enough piercing damage, you can kill a Chaos Lord, that's for sure. Plague Champion runs away. Don't think anyone lost anything, not that I can see. Slugger's now getting a decap. And an aggressive start from the Orks, as expected. Without the double Heretics, I think it's hard to win those first engagements. With Chaos, the second CSM squad typically doesn't come out quite in time for that first fight. Oh, Warboss might be taken out on retreat here with range fire. And he is. CSM can now cap the mid VP. Sluggers finishing a cap on this natural and bashing power here is oLev, who lost his Warboss. Gonna get at least one generator, I think. Here's the Plague Champion to defend. Oh, or are they gonna get a generator? Sluggers staying in to try and do it. Yep, they do. And then retreat. Havoc's up here for Rostam. Havoc's also for Andreas, trying to get behind a heavy cover of this pipe, but suppressed by aiming what's that. But now they can do some suppressing of their own. Sluggers getting away maybe? I think so, yes. He might have been able to switch targets as they ran past with the heavy bolter and finish them off, but I guess not. Mekboy having a look at the west side, maybe going for the power here. Noise Marines on the way for Andreas Leonhardt. Bad news for Shooter Boys. Havoc set up to defend the power. You might see him node this up and try and kind of camp it a little early on. Havoc's mid under some corn worship, but now that's stopped. Rostam with the combi flamer up on the Chaos Lord. Some great range damage coming out of this guy as he stomps around. Getting too close to some Shooter Boys though there. A little bit isolated. Oh, teleporting in is the Mekboy with electric armor. Very ballsy move. Did a lot of damage to these Heretics, but they're alright. Didn't drop a model. Yeah, it's a lot of Dakar for the Chaos Lord to deal with. Needs support a little bit closer to him, I think. He wanted to use his immolate there, but would have taken too much damage. Doom bolts flying in, but they miss. Shooter Boys seem to be focusing down the heroes and doing a good job with it too. Look, getting them both off the field there. 462 to 491 on VP's. Painboy is up for oLev coming towards this west side. Cool little support sub-commander for Orks and give them a heal over time ability. And also allows them to detonate in tier 2. Has a damage over time melee weapon himself. Later on can perform some surgery, which is, I'm sure, all very safe and hygienic. Plague Champion being very defensive on the east side from Andreas. Doesn't want to venture away from that power point for now. Some grenade launcher heretics for Rostam. Where are his... Oh, there they are. Very aggressive from the Orks, trying to get towards the power whenever they can here. And they're keeping things in play at the same time. They're extending, but they're not overextending, it doesn't feel like. What is this? Some Storm Boys for Jono. Bad news for those Havocs. Bad news for this entire army, really, because he doesn't have melee heretics. Although, oh no, now he has a Plague Sword and Light Grenades. Could see some nasty things done like this. Didn't quite hit it flush, but those Shooter Boys need to get off the field now. And he can create some zombies with the sword. And the infection has spread to everything. Light Grenades winning that fight, but the Warboss is in place. Storm Boys are going to jump. And there's a little flank here from the Orks. The Warboss of oLev coming over to help out Jono. Storm Boys, they got one of the Havoc models, I think, and got them off the field, but they are persuaded to leave. So they will be under threat from that Plague Champion, that's for sure. What's going on west side? Slugger's getting in amongst things, but too much for him to deal with. Double CSM and the Sorcerer himself. Doesn't have any war gear. What about you, Mr. Plague Champion? Any armor yet? Nope. Mekboy's got his electric armor still. Warboss here of oLev with no war gear. And Jono also with no war gear. Usually the Warboss gets war gear up pretty damn quickly. Seen a power bash here. Fully upgraded Shooter Boys with Knob Leader and big shooters. Tier 2 then. Are we going to see any quick blood crushers? Shaman could have got one up relatively quickly there. That could have done some work for him. But is electing to go for something else. Maybe a Mark of Khorne Dreadnought to support with his teleporting. Tier 2 for Tonberry. Rostam is 3/4 of the way there, pretty much. Not sure what this Warboss is up to. Just keeping the pressure on, I guess. Keeping him away from VPs, keeping him away from power bashes. Looter's setting up nicely. Rostam tried to get in for an immolate, but got too close. So they might be able to force this stuff off and get a power bash here. There's that Mekboy teleporting in. We don't see the electric armor go off, but he does tie them up and get them away. And yeah, maybe a full power bash. Maybe there's a lot of Orks here. A lot of Daka. That's 4 shooter squads. Potentially getting shots on the generator, but also they want to shoot down these heretics instead. There's that electric armor. It's painful, painful stuff. I believe it's power melee damage, the electric armor. Electric shock is the ability's name. Looks like they missed the opportunity to get a full power bash chasing those heretics, but they're still here. Those shooters are very low though. Yeah, they need to run away. Painboy's just hanging out. He just took the wreck point. Really, really high aggression from the Orks. Tier 2 now for Jono and oLev, who both went relatively heavy in Tier 1. oLev with Storm Boys and a Painboy is a lot of power spent after you upgrade your shooters and stuff in as well. That's a lot of Daka. We're just about to get suppressed there. Painboy getting close. Oh, it's Plague Marines on the field here for Rostam. I was wondering where that damage over time stench came from. It was the Plague Marines. Plague Champion himself is down over here, but is getting a power bash. Sonic Blast and Noise Marines doing some work here, doing their thing, shaking those structures apart. Now they have to deal with a Warboss, but they can use Cacophony, just getting away from his own units there. Not sure why they're not using it. Dropping a model. Maybe it was on cooldown or something. Warboss is persuaded to leave. But then we see a retreat from Andreas. Don't think he needed to retreat there. Could have kept these things in play. Backed off to the Havoc and defended. But he wanted them off the field, wanted them healed up. In retreat here are Sluggers. They had user choppers on them, so they were just in a fight, that's for sure. Blue team needs to get back out. We need to get capping and stabilize. You have Mark of Khorne CSM for Rostam. Armor of the Inferno is up. Weird Boy on the way and a Death Dread. Death Dread already out for Jono. Here it is. Doesn't have the burners and bits. Doesn't need them right now. Bang. Around 70 DPS heavy melee, I believe, on that guy. Really good special attack with massive radius on it. He's going into base here. He's going into base, facilitating the cap on the VP. Maybe a little power bash too. These guys are not actually capping. Looks like he's backing off now. Are you guys going to get a anti-vehicle weapon? The Havocs. Now they're capping. Don't push the power though. Disruption, not enough to stop the cap. As long as you're still in range, you will cap, even if you're on your back. Kicking off mid. Blue team have taken the VP, but here's a Power Claw Warboss all of a sudden from oLev with these cyborg implants. Great ability, I think, the big stomp. Here it is. Boom. Would have stunned and knocked back and damaged all of that stuff if he didn't retreat. Death Dread causing all sorts of problems for Tonberry, but he is looking kind of depleted here. Burners and Bits is up to 950 hit points with those burners. Great for bashing power, and they might get a full bash here. Not looking good for the Chaos Space Marines in tier 2. Some more Plague Marines, this time from Shaman, and a Chaos Dreadnought on the way for Andreas. Plague Champion goes after the Warboss. Doesn't really want to fight a Death Dread though. He's level 2, and he's staying in play for now. Plague Marines getting the VP back. Buck for how long? Those are Rostam's Plague Marines. Oh, Plague Champion barely surviving. Now wants to tie up these Plague Marines so they can't fire their missile launcher. You see that red debuff circle on the Warboss? That's the passive speed debuff that Plague Marines inflict on nearby enemies, which is pretty cool. 228 to 485. Pushing all the way up here, these looter boys. Mekboy just leveled up to 2. Still only has the electric armor. We have the Rod of Warp Fire for the Sorcerer, looks like, in his hands. Robes of Torment too. We saw Robes of Torment earlier. Oh, some damage now on the Death Dread. It's got the Cult of Speed global on it, boosting its speed, and also reducing the cooldown of ranged weapons, I think. That will affect all of the vehicles on the map, all of the allied vehicles in a way. So this Death Dread also affected, gets out of trouble, I think. Needs to keep moving though. Chaos Dreadnought is getting shots on him. Needs to keep moving. Might be chased down and finished off, down to 31 hit points. Looks like it's going to be okay, maybe. Looters here with some suppression. Orks have never ever stopped the pressure. Double cap here. Lots of VPs for Chaos to make up. Weird Boy shot, doing a good job disrupting. Mark of Corn CSM are level 2. And might be able to do some work right here. They actually avoided the Warp Vomit, but the second Weird Boy hit them with a basic attack, and now they're getting suppressed and shot to pieces. Chaos Lord, level 3. Where's that? The Galaxy Burn. Might have already used it, but he can't use it now. He was stunned by the Cyborg implants. Big stomp. Double stick bombers hitting the field for Tonberry. That's what he gets out in tier 2. Blue team with brute force making their way into the middle and capping here. And now coming through, we have some chosen Plague Marines on the field for Andreas Leonhardt. These are unique to the Plague Champion. Very good anti-melee or melee superiority from these guys. They don't have a melee charge. I don't think they have a special attack either, but they are awesome. Big chunk of hit points. They explode on death, do damage over time, and have Nurgle's Rot, which creates zombies from anything that dies around them. That is an active ability they need to use. Down goes the Death Dread. Good little passage of play for Chaos. Really good little passage of play. Some friendly fire from the Blight Grenades there. But they can tough it out, I think. Level 2 Warboss for Jono only has his Angry Bits right now. Tier 3 for Jono though. Has a good amount of red. Could see a Rocks relatively soon here. Robes of Torment doing its thing. Need to shoot down the central mass. There we go. And then you're free. It will naturally decay over time too. 2-to-1 cap for Chaos. Got a hell of a lot of VPs to make up though. Need to make some shrewd purchases. Need to be careful in their engagements. Double Plague Marines for Shaman. Dreadnoughts up from 2 players also. Need to start thinking about some anti-vehicle Orks. They've got looters who could get beamy death guns. In fact, this one already has one. But no tank busters that I can see. Weird Boys will do decent damage with its basic attack. Some trash talk from Andreas Leonhardt. Seems like he's relatively confident pushing against the Orks now. Blastmaster Noise Marines on the way. Some repairs for the Dreadnought. Chosen Plague Marines looking menacing. Really good at taking down single targets actually, because all of their damage over time stacks up on that one guy. Doesn't stack up indefinitely, I don't think, but they can get a lot of stacks in. 1, 2, 4, 4, 2, 3. Mid is being capped. Plague Champion might go down. He's fighting 2 Warbosses. And he does get away. The Power Claw couldn't get a last hit on there. Boss Pole is in play from oLev. Now the Chosen Plague Marines turn to fight him. And might help take him out with a damage over time stink. Survives barely at 5 hit points. Blue team are looking very strong all of a sudden in the middle. Orks unable to keep the pressure up. They're struggling to deal with these Dreadnoughts here. And Plague Marines given that added durability. We have a Mark of Khorne Dreadnought for Rostam. Get some crazy looking bits on it with the World Eaters Elite Scheme. This is a Death Dread. Orks are all tier 3 though, so we could see the march of the Nob Squads soonish. Maybe some looted tanks, although looted tanks maybe not the best idea with 3 Plague Marine squads around. Stick bombs. Oh, that could be nasty. That could be very nasty. Wow. Holy crap, that was a lot of dead Marines. Chaos Space Marines, that is. These guys barely surviving. What a throw. What a throw. Here's Deadly Galaxy Burn. Doing a hell of a lot of damage to a single Shooter Boy squad. Gimme Death Gun struggling to hit the Chaos Lord there. 109, 410. He's doing some damage with his Combi Flamer. Nob Squad on the way for oLev. johnoanimator getting a looted tank, looks like. Holding on to this 2-to-1 is the blue team here. Red team need to get together. Oh, rocks. I was going to say they need to get together and push. I don't think you should rocks if you can't push behind it in this situation. There's nothing there to follow it up, really. Mark of Khorne CSM getting into a fight with sluggers that they didn't really want. These are blood sacrifice bloodletters, I think, so they will decay over time. But putting some damage on in the meantime. Warboss with Power Claw has found a Chaos Lord. Killed a weak and escapes. Nicely done. Uh-oh. Friendly fire from stick bombs. This is the Nob Squad of oLev getting meaner and greener as soon as they can. Does cost a hell of a lot to fully upgrade the Nob Squads. Chaos Terminators hitting the field. Will they get claws to fight the Nobs? No, they go for the autocannon. Nobs so great at helping you push and soaking up massive amounts of damage. There's the frenzy. Looted tank well in to enemy territory, goes down. Not sure why it got so close there. We have a Marco Zinch Chaos Dreadnought taking shots from a beamy Death Gun. 28 armor piercing DPS doesn't sound like a lot, but it delivers it in massive bursts of damage. Like almost 300 per shot or something crazy, I think. 109, 344 on the VP's. Blue team continue to hold onto this 2-to-1 cap. Plague Champion with Armor of Pestilence, which is why it wasn't knocked over by the Weird Boy shot there. Chopping up some looters. Gets a Slugger Zombie. Plague Marines exploding on death there. Blue team looking very strong in the mid. Red team can't crack it right now. They have a Nob Squad each though. So if they all attack at the same time, that could be enough to break through. These guys getting their U-jammers before they get meaner and greener, which I think is the wrong order to do things. These guys getting their meaner and greener already have their hammers and already have their Nob Leader too. So they're going to be fully upgraded. These guys might actually die on retreat. Looks like they're getting their Nob Leader and they might be okay. 153 hit points, they should be fine. Nurgle Shrine is up. This could really help blue team hold mid. Chaos Dreadnought taking shots from Beamy and hits from a Nob Squad. There's use your choppers, global buff from the Warboss. Very nice stun bombs going in, but I don't think they can chase that Dreadnought down. Do they really want to stay in play here? Oh, they are chasing it down. And down it goes. It was actually the Beamy Death Gun that got the last shot in. 109, 290. Crazy engagement in the middle. Nob Squad making things happen, and that's what they do. They create opportunities for your Orks to exploit. These guys getting their huge hammers. Heavy melee weapon that stacks up a momentum buff on hit. Those guys taking a hell of a lot of damage though. Not able to get a decap, the red team. Blue team weathering the storm with that Nurgle Shrine up. They need a rocks over here, don't they? I think they kind of wasted that earlier rocks. I'm not sure who used it. But now they have a lot of pressure on their red resource because they're having to use Frenzy on their knobs to keep them alive. 109, 261. Frenzy is 75 per use, I think. I think it still is. Woodboy runs away there. Some friendly fire with these black grenades, but they're alright. As it's just a zombie slugger. Blue team holding mid. Red team are capping things up. Try to starve the blue team of resources here. Lots of resources. Speaking of resources for Shaman, might be saving up for a great unclean one here. And he can support it really well with his warp. 109 to 237. Shots going in from the Weird Boy. There's Beamy Looters as well. There's stun bombs. Nicely hit. Nothing really to follow it up though again. Oh, they have some stick bombs to follow it up. There we go. Bad news for the CSM. Plague Marines able to tough it out pretty easily though. These guys may be going for a flank around. What do we got over here? We do have a Nob Squad. We have a bunch of other stuff. Some Beamy Looters all over the gaff here. They really want to kill this Dreadnought, I guess. Rostam's lived. Oh, this is a new one, I think, is it? It must be. It doesn't have any yeah, the other one did go down to that Beamy shot, I remember. This one doesn't have any XP either. He's using it to help tank the knobs and keep them in place. There's that Blood Rage. Momentum buff starting to come in. Orc trying to push mid now. 109, 199. They've been holding on to this 2-to-1 cap for so long. Big engagement mid though. This could be vital. This could be game changing. If the red team get rebuffed here, which looks like they will be. We have a Mark of Khorne Shrine also. They are being dealt with, I think. That is a zombie knob. There is Nurgle's Rot, creating even more zombies. Is that a zombie Weird Boy? It is, I think. Holy crap. Down he goes. He will explode on death. Blue team dealing with it. Blue team dealing with it. Red team in trouble. They're struggling to assault the mid. Struggling to set up an attack kind of thing, and this shrine is not helping. They might want to come around and put a little bit of pressure on the VP there, make things shift their position a little bit. Chaos Lord killing a thing. He's got the Demonic Visage. Debuffing things on hit, which is pretty cool. Level 3 Plague Marines, double Chaos Terminators. That's what he was saving up for with autocannons. Red team's still trying to make some things work. Some tank busters. Here. We do have flash kits for oLev, but they just walk into a sea of damage and disruption. They're set up so well in the middle there. Got one of the generators now, need to run away. Looks like Andreas let slip. Spoke in all chat by mistake. Land Raider Phobos from Rostam. Oh, cancelled. More flash kits here from oLev. Looted tank and some tank busters. That Frenzied Barrage did a good job as well on those Orks as they came in, I think. From the Markov Zinchi Dreadnought. Flash kits do have their blasters. They do psychic damage, which is really good versus heavy and super heavy infantry armor. Don't ask me why, I don't know, but it is. Level 4 CSM with Markov Zinch. Blue team not putting any pressure on the enemy natural. We'll see if that will cost them later on. We have 3 Nob squads on the field, 2 flash kits, a looted tank. It might be a good idea to send in 1 Nob squad with Frenzy, maybe buffed up by the Mekboy, or the Mekboy's down, and have them soak up all of the disruption and stuff. There's that Frenzy Barrage, was it? Yeah, it misses. Now they can try and move in. Tank Buster Barrage on the Dreadnought. Almost takes it down. It does go down. Beamy shots going in. Here comes a Markov Corn CSM, but they met a Nob squad. Big engagement here. Bad news for my frame rate. But this is awesome looking. Oh, wow. Nurgle Nuke and Imperial Abyss from Andreas Leonhardt. Devastating damage over there. Devastating damage. Started off well for the Orks. Oh, there's a Rocks though. That could take out the Shrine at least, but they could just rebuild it, I guess. Oh, maybe not. Doesn't take out the Shrine. Got 1 big hit, and that was it. That was pretty much it. Some brave shooter boys are decapping middle, but I don't think they're going to keep it for very long. Blastmaster shot going in. Shrine is now being worshipped. Needs some repairs. The tank needs to be careful. Big fight. Big fight. We have some Lightning Claw Chaos Terminators for Rostam. That's what he cancelled the Phobos to get, I guess. Jono having to get some sluggers up to repair his looted tank. Big fight. So that Imperial Abyss from Andreas. Now got a great and clean one on the way. Another Mark of Corn Shrine from Rostam. Level 4 Heretics. Go you guys. Tank Buster Barrage. Doing a lot of damage to the Plague Champion there. Didn't knock him over though. Tonberry, are you going to teleport away? There we go. Doesn't have a buff for his knobs, which is really surprising to me. Why would you not get super tough beam here? There's a Warp Vomit. Oh, and subjugated knobs from Shaman. Uses their Frenzy. Where do you get the red from to use the Frenzy? You use your own red? I guess you do. 109, 102. So maybe he didn't want to do that. He's put it on cooldown, sure, but by the time they come back into the fight, it should be off cooldown. He just spent his own red to use it. Level 6 Sorcerer. He's got so much stuff to mess up knobs with. Can disrupt with the rod. Can lock them down with Robes of Torment and can subjugate them. Great and clean one in play. There's the foul snare on the flash kit. Kicking off again in the middle. The 2-to-1 cap remains. They're trying to get a decap here. They are trying to get the decap. And they get it, I think. Yes, they do. But can they finish it off? It's going to be a big ask. It's going to be a really big ask. Great and clean one fighting some knobs. Taking a lot of damage. That's a lot of stuff damaging it. Taking big damage from the flash kits too. Beamies getting shots in. Looted tank getting shots in. Nob squad now chasing it. I think it needs some regular worship support. Oh, some disruption from the Heretics. Quick thinking there by Andreas. Might have helped save the Great and Clean one, which does survive. Look at this assault though from the knobs. Epic fighting in the middle here. Who cares about natural VPs? Just throw everything into the meat grinder. Let the Galaxy burn, keeping up the disruption. Double Chaos Terminators of assault cannons, auto cannons pushing forward there. And more heavy losses for the Orks. Tonberry down to just a Nob squad, now getting a looted tank. oLev seems to be happy with the performance of his flash hits because he's getting some more. Jono with a looted tank now. Holy crap, that was a crazy fight. Brilliant Clean One lives. Needs some serious worship support though. Does he actually get healed by the shrine? Not sure. I don't think he does. No, he's not. So you need to worship him or send him back to base or something. Or both. Blue tank in the field for Tonberry. We've got another dreadnought for Rostam with Mark of Corn. Double Plague Marines and double Terminators for Shaman, who's got tons and tons of resources. Not sure why he's not spending it here. Do Red Team have it in them to push again? And is it going to be enough? They've been sitting on 109 VPs for a hell of a long time. They might have to go for the natural. And here they are trying to do so here. Looks like Andreas is set up pretty well to defend this though. Has Havocs in play up there. Has that shrine close enough. Ouch. Big Blastmaster shot. What level are the Blastmasters? Level 4. Plague Champion himself at level 6. Chosen Plague Marine is level 3. 24, 20 hit points. Looks like this is going to be the end of it. Some of the players struggling with their own frame rate, looks like. Boom. Looks like they are going to see out this 2-to-1 cap. Look at the amount of Orc bodies in the mid. Loads of them Nob squads too. They're pushing over here. The double looted tank's going to be too little too late though. As we see the VPs tick down. And the Chaos team, after a shaky start, absorbing huge amounts of pressure from the Orks, come back strong. Once they got those Plague Marines up, they really stabilized, didn't they? In the middle, getting the Havocs, and then they set up the shrine here from Andreas. Chosen Plague Marines, really scary to anything that got close. And they did really well. They held the mid, were set up really nicely with tons of disruption and damage for the Nobs to deal with. Let's look at these end game heroes. A level 6 Plague Champion, a level 7 Chaos Lord did actually have his Combi Flamer all the way to the end. Level 7 Sorcerer did a hell of a lot of work with robes and stuff. Mekboy is down. Level 4 had the Beamy and Electric Armor. Level 4 Warboss down for oLev, who looks like he still had the Claw and Cyborg, and I think Boss Pole, and a level 4 for Jono. There you have it, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.